I feel kind of trapped here, but I have the feeling it's not right how I do it.
No, that's actually for the feet.
You said there are some guys in here, but he's nobody than me, so...
Maybe this is also good for back cracking.
Yes, it does have some therapeutical properties.
Oh, perfect.
This stretching depends on what you want to stretch.
That feels special. Would you like that too, or how would you feel in this situation? Maybe you can just soften it again. Hey guys, and welcome back on Inside Rob. And today we are again in Berlin at the next venue here, close to Berlin Südkreuz. We are at Böse Buben. Translated, it is called Bad Boys, and this is not a commercial place. This is a club, a non-profit organization, as the Queergeist I visited before. Today's host is Jan, and he will show me around. He will give me a tour through this venue. It's still the daytime here, so it's a bit bright outside. Let's ring. Nice to
Robert.
meet you.
Welcome to Böse Buben. Lovely to have you here.
Yeah, nice that you have me here. That's my first time here at Böse Buben. Yeah. I need to know everything about it.
You need to know everything. Good.
Yes.
Well, luckily for me, you don't look so scared as many of the newbies that come to such an establishment or such a safe space, which I would strongly encourage the young generation to use such safe spaces until they all vanish. The entrance fees vary from the different parties that we have. We have parties for fisters, for spankers, wrestlers, sneakers, and soccer and sportswear. Different parties for different kind of fetishes in the community. So the entrance fee varies, and you know how turbulent the economic times is. At the present rate, we are at like 14 euros for parties like fisting, where we use a little bit more of the cleaning afterwards and the paper towels and things like that. We charge a little bit more, of course, because we have to clean a little bit more after that. But currently we are at around 14 euros.
Okay, that means I pay the entrance fee when I come inside?
That's correct. You pay the entrance fees. After that, you're going to get a locker, like this one, for example.
Oh, yeah, the key.
You're going to put
the number.
Key is very good because they cost 20 euros if you lose one. But that's why they have a rubber band, so you don't have to lose them. Or you can leave the key at the bar if you want to enjoy the party totally naked or whatever your fetish is in leather thing. And you put all your stuff over here, and on this number you're gonna get your drinks throughout the whole night. And then at the end, when you want to leave, you're gonna, you pay what you owed for the drinks, and then you had a wonderful time, hopefully.
So it's basically like in the sauna?
Yes.
But I don't get a towel?
Depends on the party. At the Fight Club that I host, that's my party, the Fight Club. Of course, it's a very sporty event, and you get sweaty on the mats and so on. And of course, after you wrestled all night and had your submission grappling fill, then of course I'm going to give you a towel.
So that means also people can get very wet at your party here?
It's actually desired, yes. Okay. I mean, I'm selling the fun here. I'm not selling just the drinks. Like, you can get drinks anywhere, but the drinks are supplementary to the fun and the fantasy that people want to live here.
Gay content isn't always easy to keep visible. So if you want more videos like this, like, subscribe, and maybe even become a channel member. For extra content and updates, you'll find me on Instagram, X, and OF. Links are below. Thanks for the support. It really means a lot.
Alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks?
That's correct. We have both of them here.
You have also food, snacks, or?
No.
No. Okay.
It's not a restaurant, it's a
It's not a restaurant, yeah, it's a sex club, and what I always say is a good bottom doesn't eat. So we get the wristband, we get no towel. Usually, you know, I have to switch from the sauna mode. Usually you have the stuff. And then you take the decision to experience the place, and I want to experience
Exactly. This is the most common misconception that people have about this safe space, is that it has some rigorous kind of a schedule, or that you have to kind of be ready and you have to follow some procedures. Please never forget that this is foremost and important to know is it's actually a networking place. Mm-hmm. You come here, you meet somebody, you have certain fantasies or you have certain practices or certain fetishes in your head. I always advise my fighters, for example, from the internet, yes, and what if I want to fight? Well, honey, you have to meet me halfway. I'm providing you the place. Mm-hmm. I'm providing you a certain amount of people who are somewhere in the vicinity of your fantasy, what you want to experience, what you want to try. Many people come here on the chance of, I know this is a good party, I know there's 50 people, I don't have to premeditate my session, whether it's wrestling, fisting or sneak, whatever these people are into. It always is good if you go on the internet and like, hey, I looked at your profile picture, you have written over there, I'm kind of in the same thing, do you want to try something? Mm-hmm. And then comes this decision, I'm meeting this person for the very first time, is it safe for me to do the bondage, to be tied down and helpless in some hotel room? Or is it safer for me to come in some sort of safe space like this, where if something goes wrong, there's lots of people who kind of have. That's the one point that I always try to make. And the second point is, yes, there are also lots of seniors and, you know, kind of not the youngest guys, but there are also younger guys. But what I'm trying to kind of bring across is, don't ever disregard the experiences that the older generation has. So you have to make up your mind, why are you visiting this safe space? And the way I always explain it, your chances to meet the right player are the highest in these safe spaces.
Okay, so let's discover this safe place. We have to see what we can do here, maybe.
So, this is our lounge. We use that officially for the smokers. You can have a cigarette over here. Mm-hmm. Yes, it looks like your grandmother's kind of a living room, but it does have a certain point. Uh-huh. See, in order to have your fantasy fulfilled, you also need the background. You also need the room to match your fantasy. Like we have an athletic room, as you're going to see. We have the clinic room to some medical fantasies or whatever the fantasy is. And it's very useful to have a room like this, where you kind of sit down with your player, with your master, or whoever you are fulfilling this fantasy with, whether you didn't had a good vodka Red Bull or if you had too many vodka Red Bulls, it's always very good at the end of a good session, come down here, chill down, and the old grandpa room kind of brings you back down to the reality, and you have the last kind of beer, and then you go happily after a nice experience, after a nice play, you go home. So this room is purposely designed like this, to kind of break your fantasy and bring you safely again back down to the reality.
Okay, but for now we want to escape for the reality. Let's go into the fantasies. Let's explore the rooms, right?
Perfect. All right, Robert, follow me upstairs. As you can see, we have on the posters, we're promoting the different parties all the time. And as you can see, we have in all the floors, we have the lockers. The capacity of Böse Buben is around 80 people maximum, because of the invoices and because of the lockers.
Okay, and you told me that you have so many parties. What would you say would be the best party for someone who want to explore or go for the first time, where there are a lot of people and maybe most open, not only fisting or not only like a specific thing?
Well, that's a good question, because it really depends on your fetish. What are you into? We also have some regulars that come over here because they live in an area, for example. But I also had a situation where I had people who are truly into fisting and they were just kind of curious, what is this fight club about? So many people are very curious about different things and they want to try it. It really depends on your fetish. If it's not your thing, then you're going to pay the entrance fee and then you're going to be like, you're going to sit in a corner. So if you're into spanking, if you're into fisting, if you're into feet fetish that we have, or submission grappling that I do, you really have to have that fetish. Okay. And then you just have to show up. And you don't have to be afraid. We always welcome new guests, new members, and we kind of take care of them. Just in an exchange of experiences in a safe environment. You can't have an exchange of experiences over the internet. I mean, essentially you have to meet the other person either in a private setup or in this kind of setup.
So the first thing is checking the event schedule on your website.
Yes, that is a good idea.
Perfect. This room is...
So this is the bondage and SM room. This is kind of fulfilling the classic purpose of the pain-loving soul. The stretch bank, for example, is quite popular. Then there's the spanking horse or the penetration. Yes, go ahead. Well, you are a natural. You need to stay for the party.
This is a perfect. Yes. This is so. Even if you are a bit older, you know, then you have. It's good for the back and for the. Yeah.
I do have to thank you. I never thought about this as having therapeutical properties, but I'm going to market it like that now.
Yeah, definitely.
What you are seeing right now is for tonight's corporal punishment party, and these are the people who love to be whipped, spanked, and kind of humiliated. The fetish soul has different needs, and we're trying to kind of bring those people together who love pain and who love to give pain.
Talking of pain, can I try this?
Of course, go ahead. And my first question when somebody asks, "Can I try this?" Have you done that before?
No.
No. Okay. Do you feel safe if I'm kind of tired?
I'm safe with you. I feel safe with you two guys.
And that's the purpose of this club. I mean, you should feel safe because otherwise you can't let yourself fall into the scene.
Oh, shoes on, off?
Doesn't matter. Just
doesn't matter.
First, you need to come down because you're the wrong way.
Oh,
the hands, the hands go over there.
Oh, okay.
And turn around. Well, both ways.
On my belly?
On your belly.
Oh, so that I feel a bit more out of control. Oh my God.
So,
yeah, that's a stretching, I would say. Oh yeah, I help you, okay?
There's a helpful bottom. That we don't have that much over here, so you need to come to the party.
Guys, what do you think? Would you try this too? He's very gentle, I need to say. So, and now, that's it?
And now I would do what I like to do. Here's the thing. I don't know how other people are, but the moment I see that the other person doesn't enjoy what I'm doing, I'm all the horniness gone out of the window. You don't impose free will on another person's free will. I leave this to the religious people. They're very good at it. My philosophy in life is both people have to enjoy what's being done, and communication is everything. That's why I always promote conversation before play. You should agree on what you want to try, what you are into, and then you should explore that. You have much more intense and better plays with someone that you already played with. So how do you feel? What kind of feeling is that for you?
I know some months ago I would have felt more uncomfortable because sometimes I have problems with situations when you are trapped like this. But I remember when I was in Bangkok it was a bit, but now it's okay. So I think it could be a bit more tight.
Oh!
Yeah.
Where were my manners?
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe this is also good for back cracking.
Yes, it does have some therapeutical properties.
Oh, perfect.
This stretching depends on what you want to stretch. So now that you have your feet firmly fixed over there, the only thing that remains are
Oh yeah, that's tight. That feels special. Would you like that too, or how would you feel in this situation? Maybe you can just soften it again, like, yeah. It's good when the pain is going away again.
But this is how it should be. I mean, if you experiencing or you feel like you want to experience it for the first time, this is the type of conversation you should have. Of course, it can get more intense, but for that you need to know the person. You need to know his limits. Is he really into this? He just wants to try. It's not really my thing. You know, let me out and let's have a drink. It's not just a safe space. What makes it a safe space is the experienced players share their know-how and how to do it in a safe, exploratory manner.
Okay.
Because otherwise it could be construed as rape, and nobody wants to rape anybody. It's always two consenting adults. That's what counts.
Can you
Of course.
please release me?
And I'm free again, and let's go on.
With all this freedom, let's continue the tour. How about that?
Perfect.
All right, let's go. We're gonna continue the tour, and we're gonna go in our medical or clinic room. But before that, we of course have facilities like toilets.
Looks very clean, yeah.
Cleanliness is one of the things that our guests value the most.
And
So,
I think that's
welcome.
also important, especially in a clinic.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we took our cue mainly from the porn industry, and you have the military theme, then you have the fighter team screwed by a soccer player theme, the medical examination team. So there's different fetishes and different fantasies, and so we tried to cater to them. There's a very famous SM hotel in Tokyo, I think, the Japanese people. They also have different rooms with different themes. During my party, the Fight Club, I have a free massage guy because it fits. If you are wrestling all night, then a sport through massage is something that adds a value to the party. So welcome to the clinic room, soak in the energy. If you need an examination, just welcome to my praxis.
doctor, I need some treatment.
You do look in distress, darling. So, and that's exactly why the clinic room is here. You see, this is how the fantasies begin. You don't even have to go to Pornhub or something like that. You do have those fantasies in your head. It's very difficult to find a hotel room like this in Berlin, but you will find clubs like this in Berlin, and I'm very happy that I live in the most freest city in the world right now, where we do have safe spaces and clubs like this. Everybody who wants to experience, who wants to play out their fantasies, visit one of these clubs, and don't be afraid about it. They are called safe spaces for a reason, because we do want people to have fun. We do want people to practice these practices in a safe manner, so that they pass this knowledge on to the younger generation.
We're talking about safe space a lot, and that there is such a big variety of the fetishes. But where are the boundaries of fetish? Because I can imagine there are also fetishes which are maybe not appropriate.
That's a good question. So I give you a concrete example. At the WrestleFest that I organized this year, before I organized it, I went on the internet, and there's a website called meetfighters.com where we organize ourselves. There's a chat room. Safe space also means that it's operated by people who understand the difference between fantasy and reality. So I had fighters, I call them chat fighters. And there was I want to fight in a complete latex suit, and things hey, whatever's your fancy, it's good. If you find your opponent, then you're welcome and try your fetish and wrestling in fetish gear, no problem. But then I had people who had these fantasies of, I want to choke someone into sleep, into unconscious. I'm like, no honey, not at my place. Because these people often forget that, look at the professional wrestling matches in UFC fights or something like that. There's always a medical team behind that box ring or behind that MMA cage. What makes this a safe space is that we know the difference. Hey, this is a dangerous thing that you are proposing, and this is a safe thing. So you can also try these dangerous things, but you have to go about it in a controlled, kind of declared and kind of bespoke manner. Like, hey, I would like to try this. This is what turns me on. And then the other person, all right, I don't have an experience with that, but we can try it very slowly. And then in this conversation, you can see that the other person is not a complete wacko, but he's like, all right, there's a saying I learned from the New York Bondage Club. I'm gonna hurt you, but I'm not gonna harm you. And that's the distinction. So you always want to play with a person who's kind of a sane pervert. So dumb to say like that. It's all right to have these fantasies. What's not all right is being totally like self-confident. Because many people forget that you're dealing with another human being. The other human being, especially in these bondagey and these mastery setups, they give up control over to you. And that's a huge responsibility if you think about it.
So no operations, no real operations here, right?
No real operations,
okay.
Definitely not real operations. This is the kind of a classic master bedroom.
Oh, no, I know this. I know this.
You know that. Oh, from where? Which SM apartment have you been? You bad puppy.
This is very easy to use here. So
if you inside lovemaking, then it's practical to see the sweaty manly back, for example. So the mirroring images enhance the kind of experience that we have. I don't know which master bedroom has a sling in it, except
mine should be in the future. Which puppy left this here?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Ooh,
After certain parties, we find many things. We do have a lost and found box at the bar. In the heat of the play, certain people tend to forget their stuff here.
But I hope they don't forget their puppies here.
No, that they don't forget.
So you also have a puppy party.
We want to introduce a new puppy party. Yes, it's a huge hype in the community because the younger generation doesn't have the money to pay like 60 euros for the whole leather kind of thingy.
But especially I see so many young puppies these days. On Folsom, there were so many twins. Okay, you don't see the faces, but you see the bodies. And sometimes they took off the mask and then you see like, what, you are like 21 or 25. And maybe the younger guys also like it because what I can imagine is like if you wear the puppy, you are like a complete different.
That's one aspect of the puppy play. The way a puppy explained it to me is 20 years ago when I was living in New York, there was still this old school, like the master and the slave, and that has very strict rules, and the slave has to walk like one step behind you, he has to open the doors and things like that. There's a lot of investment involved in this hardcore master and slave play. So what's the difference between a puppy play and a slave and master play is? Well, as a puppy, I put on this mask. They don't cost as much as the whole leather kind of outfitty thing. And second of all, imagine you yourself having real animal. I mean like real puppy.
Yeah.
So the puppy is allowed to be mischievous, to kind of, get the ball or something like that. But you don't really kind of beat the puppy. You just don't give him food or something like that, don't give him a light slap. It's some sort of a lighter version of the bondage, master and slave kind of play, and it doesn't cost as much. That's why I guess it was such a hype among the young generation. Oh, I can be kinky, but I don't have to be the hardcore kinky, and it doesn't cost me as much. That's the combination that kind of is appealing to the younger generation. It's a nice kind of an entry point to the real kind of hardcore bondagey and master and slave world, I guess.
And I always thought about making maybe a video about the pup play, maybe inviting a young puppy for an interview. If you guys are into that or would like to see that, just write it in the comments.
And then you come to our puppy party.
Then the puppy party, yes, definitely. But for now,
let's continue our tour. Oh, yeah, go ahead. You're not scared yet?
But why is Mona Lisa here?
That has a very specific reason.
Really?
Yes. I just don't know it yet.
Okay.
Sometimes the president and the second president of the association surprise all the guests with this kind of things. You are an influencer, it's about attention and keeping the attention high. So the people like, have you seen the Mona Lisa? I'm like, what? This is the second and final floor. We have 3 floors. So down, we have been in the first one. Welcome to the athletic room, where I usually have my monthly event for the submission grapplers and the fighters. At the floor, there's usually mats. We have the puzzle mats, MMA mats. Yeah. These are used over here as kind of a safety backup, so that if you wrestle, you don't bang your head at the hard wall, for example. This is a very popular room because it's big and it's spacious. Usually our guests also rearrange themselves this stuff depending on their party. It's very popular by many parties.
But let's have a question for the wrestling. Is
Yes.
it naked?
It depends on what you agree with your opponent.
Okay.
Look, submission grappling or wrestling, don't tell me it isn't erotic. Like it's you know, 2 muscular men on a floor. Just it always has a certain erotic element. Mm-hmm. At my party, it's mostly sporty because we really just like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But if there is this erotic spark that kind of sparks on the mat over here, then you can go into the master bedroom and use the sling. We do also have some erotic fights, which means they wrestle naked.
Okay.
You know.
I need to say, I also think that like the wrestle guys and the wrestling can be kind of erotic. I remember when I was a younger guy, for example, watching the wrestling stuff, I was like kind of, ooh, nice. So maybe, guys, I should also visit this big wrestling event he's organizing. So if you like that,
pleasure. It would be awesome.
Write it in the comments. So that would be cool, right? And this is the next toilet, right?
Exactly.
And a special one too.
Well, it is after all a sex club, so we do have the amenities of douching. We do have the showers that the fighters are using after a sporty event. You can always shower over here. We do have
the shower what the fighters used before.
Yes, some of them are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a reason to lie. Yes, some of them use that.
So people can buy the attachment for the hose also, right?
Mostly they bring themselves out of hygiene reasons, but yes.
Yeah, cool.
Guys, I'm afraid that I kind of lost Robert because I kind of like him. I like his personality. We kind of played a trick with the cameraman on Robert.
Help! Help!
Be quiet or you want. So Robert volunteered to try one of our cages over here, and he's doing an excellent job at being an excellent bottom. I think you need to come to more parties over here. You're gonna have lots of fun.
You said there are some guys in here, but he's nobody than me, so please leave me out now.
So that's one of our immobilizing boxes cages, as you can see. There's plenty of stuff to try out.
Is it special made, self-made, or some of your members do it? Or?
You know, most of the stuff we get from our members and guests who don't use it anymore, or things like that. There's very few equipment that we purposely bought ourselves.
Okay.
This is the dark room. It's gonna be quite dark.
Oh, it's quite dark. But I have one more question because like the club and membership stuff like that. But to go here, you don't need to be a member.
No, you don't need to be a member.
Okay, no. But if you are a member, do you have like discounts for the entrance fee or stuff like that?
We have practically 2 memberships. You have the supporting member, where you pay a certain amount per year, and in return you have a free entrance, which you have to pay for your drinks. And then you have the full membership, where you have also the right to vote on things, to vote for the president of the associations, to have your voice heard about parties and to attend things. Of course, you can join the parties for free if you are a full member. We don't have that many members. We are not as big because it's just more effective if you have less chefs cooking the soup.
I feel kind of trapped here, but I have the feeling it's not right how I do it.
No, that's actually for the feet. So, but this is exactly why we are here, so that you get the knowledge in order to have more fun and more intense experiences. So yes, that's for the feet, because that's one of the kind of fister stable station.
So now I get it. So you can release it, and then it comes a bit down, like
and then your feet would be exactly like this.
This is why we have the red color here, right? But that's kind of nice. Also, this stuff too.
These rooms are being used also for the corporal punishment and thing, and it's the classic over here. So
nice. And you have the ventilation. You have the fans.
Yes, these are the outer walls. So in summer, it's really Luckily, we didn't have that kind of a hot summer this year.
And you can fix people everywhere. When you have been a bad puppy, you can
There's also a cage, exactly.
Warning for the dog, it says. Seems even a bit too comfortable, I think.
Well, certain puppies deserve to be comfortable.
Okay.
For the bad puppies, we have the black box that you've been into. So, do you guys want something to drink or something?
Yeah, maybe some water.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then we continue. Come on.
Okay. He just, I think he's going to get some drink, and I want to explore on my own now. Ooh, puppy stuff. What's that?
Robert, boys, I have your drinks. Robert, is he exploring again?
Hello.
Is this your first time in a club? Have you ever used the glory hole before?
Yeah, I did.
Then you know that something different has to be in that hole right now.
Yeah, that's possible, but I wanted to do it in a YouTube-friendly way, and I also learned in Kaiserbründel in Vienna that this could be good for confession. Yeah.
Oh, a religious room we don't have yet. So thanks for the suggestions. I will bring it to the attention of the president. And we might gonna establish a little kind of confession room. After all, bondage and SM, the Spanish Inquisition can tell us something about that, right?
Perfect.
But we're not gonna take a cue from there.
But I really like this. I officially call it sacratorium because, guys, you know, the good thing is, like, I'm in level up here in a normal sacratorium, yeah? So you just have to go like this one step, and you can bring everything which is important for the guys behind the wall in position. And I really like it because it's like mobile, you can change it.
Well, versatility and flexibility, you don't see that only in Berghain or laboratory. Almost any playroom-oriented club needs to be versatile to cater to all the fantasies. You need certain kind of open spaces like the athletic room that you've seen, and then you need some sort of kind of darker, anonymous, that caters to the kind of like the bisexual. He doesn't want to be seen, but he seeks something. Different styles in different rooms. So, and this is the kind of a dark one.
And you need hydration, so
yes, let's have a drink.
And I will sit. When I come for the first time here, do I need to bring my own wrestling gear or like toys and stuff like that?
That's a good question, because that's like catch-22, like what was first, the egg or the hen? If you're a newbie, you practically have no experience and don't know what to go, where to go, and where to buy good quality gear. For example, for the spanking community, we do have the different kind of implements that you can borrow here.
Oh, that's not for the kitchen here.
No, that's... So we do have a couple of things that we can borrow for the wrestling community. They bring themselves their outfits. I do have some boxing gloves upstairs and things like that. Just for the newbies, like to get a feel, what kind of gear do I want to get? So we have a couple of things over here that you can try on, guys. And we have people from Lebanon or from the Arabic countries. If they caught with these things, they're gonna be. So, of course, we have a couple of stuff that we can lend you and you can try it on.
What I also see is you provide. The question is it for free? I saw CNL, condoms and lube.
Yes, that's of course for free.
For free?
Of course.
And you have some other special thing?
What did you found that I haven't commented on? Oh, yes, no, of course. Of course. No, of course, for the fisting parties.
Oh, I thought it's for to clean the...
I mean, you can use these hand gloves for whatever is needed to be used for.
So guys, protection is very important.
Yes.
Hygiene, this is the loop, and...
Not only hygiene, good that you're mentioning it, it's very important. It's also a safe space because we are in New York. When I was working for the Berlin AIDS Help, because of this non-profit organization, like the German Aidshub, the Berlin Aidshub, we also are very aware of the STDs and of the use of the chemsex and so on. So we do have professionals always working at the bar. It's not just safe in terms of I'm not gonna be beaten up to bloody hell or whatever. It's also safe because we have lots of enlightenment in Berlin, lots of non-government organization, and we are aware of all the STDs and things like that, and we also educate the young ones in, hey, you should protect yourself, you should wear a condom, you should wear these things. We try to fulfill the word safe in all the dimensions that we can.
That's cool.
Robert, so I gave you a tour through the Böse Buben Club. If you were a newbie, would you risk it? Would you come here? Would you feel safe?
Actually, I really feel like a bad guy tonight, yeah, being here. And I'm really curious. And I think in 50 minutes, the party starts. And maybe I could stay here to try it out.
Of course you can, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, but I definitely felt very safe because I have like a professional person from the club here. And I think that could help a lot of people just to go here and talk with you guys at the bar. How many people are here every night from the members? Like guys I can talk to maybe?
We always try to have the appropriate fetish person member to the appropriate fetish parties. My party, the Fight Club, for example, then I'm behind the bar, I welcome the people, and I, explain to them the rules and so on and so forth.
So guys, when you have questions, just ask the guy behind the bar. Yep. They will answer the questions, and I think there are also a lot of guys here you can talk to. So I felt very safe, and I'm sure many people would feel safe here in this safe space, especially for the fetish community. So come here to Böse Buben in Berlin and just try it out. I will, and I just can say thank you.
Oh, he will. Okay, good. Turn off the camera. We're going to play.
Oh.